In a land shrouded by mist and ancient whispers, there stood a mountain known to all, yet conquered by few. It was called the Peak of Illumination, and legend had it that anyone who reached its summit would be granted unparalleled wisdom. Many had tried, lured by the promise of ultimate knowledge, but the mountain was as treacherous as it was tall, its paths winding and its slopes steep. One day, a young traveler, with a heart full of curiosity and a spirit unburdened by fear, set out on this daunting quest. He wasn't seeking power or fame. He simply yearned to understand the world and his place within it. He packed lightly, carrying only what was essential: a little food, a flask of water, and a walking stick carved from the wood of an elder tree. The villagers watched him go, their faces a mixture of hope and pity. "Another one," they murmured, chasing a whisper on the wind. As he began his ascent, the air grew crisp, and the world below shrank into a tapestry of green fields and silver rivers. The initial path was well trodden, marked by the footsteps of countless aspirants who had come before him. He felt a sense of camaraderie with these unknown souls, a shared dream echoing through the rustling leaves. The climb was invigorating at first. The rhythmic crunch of his boots on the gravel, a steady beat against the silence of the woods. He marveled at the flora, the vibrant wildflowers that defied the rocky terrain, and the ancient trees whose branches reached for the sky like gnarled fingers. After a few days, the path began to change. It grew narrower, more rugged. He started to encounter other climbers, but they were not heading up. They were on their way down. Their faces were etched with disappointment and fatigue. One man, his clothes torn and his spirit seemingly broken, paused to catch his breath. "Turn back," he advised the young traveler, his voice raspy. "The path ahead is a lie. There's nothing but rock and relentless wind. The wisdom they speak of is just a cruel joke to make fools of us all." The young traveler thanked him for the warning, but continued his journey, his resolve unshaken. He met many more like the first man. A woman sat by a stream, weeping softly. She spoke of the loneliness, the feeling that the mountain was actively trying to push her away. A group of scholars, their books and charts scattered on the ground, argued amongst themselves, their theories and calculations proving useless against the raw, untamable nature of the peak. Each person he met had their own reason for giving up: the physical exhaustion, the mental strain, the gnawing doubt that crept in during the cold, starless nights. They had all started with the same fire in their eyes, a fire that had now been extinguished by the harsh realities of the climb. Despite their warnings and the visible evidence of their struggle, the young traveler pressed on. He saw their despair not as a deterrent, but as a part of the journey itself. He understood that the mountain tested not just the body, but the soul. The path grew steeper still, forcing him to use his hands to pull himself up over jagged rocks. The air thinned, and each breath became a conscious effort. He was alone now, the last of the descending figures far behind him. The world was quiet, save for the sound of his own heartbeat and the ever-present whistling of the wind. It was in this profound solitude that the wind began to speak to him. It wasn't a voice of words, but of feelings, a current of thought that swirled around him. Why do you persist? It seemed to ask, its touch cold against his skin. You've seen the others. They were stronger, cleverer, better prepared than you. They all turned back. What makes you different? What drives you forward when all signs point to failure? The wind was relentless, whispering doubts he had buried deep within himself. The summit is a myth, it hissed. There is no wisdom waiting for you, only an empty, frozen peak. Your struggle is meaningless. For a moment, the traveler faltered. He sat on a narrow ledge, looking down at the vast, indifferent landscape below. The wind's words echoed the fears in his own heart. Was this all for nothing? Was he just another fool chasing a phantom? He felt the weight of his exhaustion, the ache in his muscles, the sting of the cold. The temptation to turn back, to return to the warmth and comfort of the world below, was immense. He closed his eyes, picturing the faces of those who had given up. He understood their pain, their surrender. But then he opened his eyes and looked up, not at the distant, unseen summit, but at the path just ahead of him. He looked at his own hands, calloused and scraped from the climb. He felt the strength in his legs, a resilience forged by every upward step. A slow smile spread across his face, a smile of pure, unadulterated clarity. He stood up, his posture straight and confident against the gale. He spoke, his voice clear and steady. Not to the wind, but to himself, to the mountain, to the universe. You ask why I keep going, he said, his words carried away by the gust. You think I'm still chasing the promise of the summit, but you're wrong. I'm not climbing for what awaits me at the top anymore. He took a deep breath, the thin, cold air filling his lungs with a strange energy. I'm climbing for the climb itself. He continued, a newfound understanding dawning in his eyes. With every step I take, I learn something new. When my muscles ache, I learn about the limits of my body. And then I learn how to push past them. When fear whispers in my ear, I learn to listen to the stronger voice of my own resolve. When I feel lonely, I discover the strength I have within myself. I am not the same person who started at the bottom of this mountain. Every rock I've scaled, every doubt I've conquered, has chipped away at my ignorance. He looked towards the sky, a brilliant light in his gaze. The wisdom isn't just at the peak. It's in every single step. The journey itself is the illumination. This climb, this very struggle, is making me brighter. With that realization, the traveler felt a profound sense of peace. The wind no longer seemed like an adversary, but a companion. Its howl, a song of encouragement. The weight of his pack, the ache in his body, it all became part of a beautiful, transformative process. He no longer obsessed over reaching the destination. The journey had become the reward. He was climbing not to find wisdom, but to become it. And so he continued, one step at a time, climbing higher and higher, shining brighter with every move, a beacon of light on the mountain of life. Just like the traveler, your journey to learn English is a climb. It can be challenging, and you might see others give up. But remember, every word you learn, every conversation you have, every story you read, is a step that makes you brighter. The process itself is where the real growth happens. Keep climbing, and you will shine. Thank you for joining us on this story. If you enjoyed it and want more inspiring content to help you on your English learning journey, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next story.